Good morning, class. Welcome to the class, and today we are going to majorly in automotive engineering braking system. As you understand, there has been a lot of development in today's technology when it comes to automotive engineering. And now today we are going to cover the braking system, and we are going to see how far the development in technology has so far reached. We are majorly going to start at least by knowing the objectives or what is required of us by the end of this lesson. So our first objectives will be defining the braking system in a vehicle, understanding the basic function of the braking system in a vehicle, then understanding the types of braking system that are there under the mode of construction, and lastly but not least, we are also going to look at the understanding the importance of the braking system, and also we are going to look at the operation principles of both the drum brake and disc brake, and as well we are going to look at the importance of having disc brake as compared to drum brakes. Those are the main objectives that we are going to measure in. Let us start by understanding what a brake is. A brake refers to a mechanical device that inhibits motion by absorbing the energy from a moving system. A brake is a mechanical device that inhibits motion by absorbing energy from a moving system. For that, we are going to know the functions of what is the main functions of having brake system in a vehicle. One key point of having brake system is the brake system enables the driver to slow down the speed of a vehicle that was initially moving at a high speed. Number two, brakes are used when the driver needs to stop the vehicle. So when the driver needs to stop the vehicle, he applies the brake, and that's the second key functions of having a brake system in a vehicle. Now let us look at the types of brake system under the mode of construction. Basically, there are two types of brakes that are there under the mode of construction, and majorly we are going to look at the drum brakes. Number two, we also look at the disc brake. But let us start by seeing the drum brakes. So you will see that you see the components of drum brakes. You will see that there is what we call the drum. It has a brake cylinder. It also has a piston. It also has a brake shoes, and also it has an adjustable mechanism. So those, if you look at this diagram, you will see, or you are able to identify the key components of drum brakes, and this diagram can really explain what happens during when the diagram. I think the diagram is well elaborated because you can as well identify those parts clearly as you can see them in that diagram. Next thing, we are going to look at the operation principles of the drum brake. Operation principles of the drum brake. So when the driver presses the brake pedal, the piston places the brake lining made of friction material. So whenever the driver presses the brake pedal, there is a connection of linkages, and that linkages will then force the piston to press the brake lining, which are made of friction materials. So then when the friction materials are pressed, the linings are pressed. So when the linings or when the friction materials linings, the linings are pressed on the rotating drum. Okay, so initially that rotating drum is always rotating. So when the linings are pressed on the rotating drum, which in turn, so after the lining has pressed the rotating drum, it will in turn decelerate the wheel, hence reducing and slowing down hence stopping down the vehicle. So that one is the main operation of how to operate, or how the disc brake, the drum brakes, sorry, the drum brakes are being operated. Next type of brakes, we are going to look the disc brake. The disc brake, as you can see in the figure below, that's a picture on how the disc brakes look like. And the components of disc brake, you'll see that there is what is called a caliper. There's also what you call the brake lining, and also you're able to see that there is brake pads, and also see that there is a hose where brake fluids pipe is connected, so that when the pedal you press, that brake fluid will in turn compress the pads, hence stopping down the pressing the parts together. Next, sorry, we are going to look at the operation principles of disc brake, or rather how disc brake operates in nature. So we are going to look at the working principles of disc brake. So the piston pushes the brake pads against the rotating disc. The rotating disc is initially at a rotating motion. Therefore, when the driver presses the brake pedal, okay, the piston, the fluid from the master cylinder is forced through the piston. Then the piston will in turn push the brake pad against the rotating disc. When the inner brake pad touches the rotor, the fluid pressure exerts a force. So the fluid will exert an external force that will in turn push the brake pad outside the disc, hence placing the disc. So after the fluid is pressed, after the fluid exerts a pressure, it tends to push the brake pads outside, hence forcing it to lap against the rotating disc that was initially moving. Hence the pad will hold the rotating disc, hence the disc will stop from rotating, thus the vehicle will come to a rest, or the vehicle will slow or stopped, since the rotating disc is no longer rotating. Lastly, what we are going to cover in our last session today, we are going to look at the advantages of having a disc brake as compared to drum brake in your vehicle. What are the advantages of having a disc brake as compared to drum brake when it comes to application principles in your vehicle? So number one, disc brakes are lighter in weight as compared to drum brakes. So when you compare the size of drum brake as compared to disc brakes, so you realize that disc brakes are more lighter than you see that disc brakes are lighter than the drum brake. Number two, replacement of brake pad will be very easier as compared to a drum brake. Then number three, disc brakes offers better resistance to fade. It offers better resistance to fade. Then by design, disc brake has a self-adjustment mechanism. So by design, so they are made in a design whereby they will have a, they will just adjust themselves with time. That is the mechanism that is incorporated in disc brake, of which is not incorporated in drum brakes. However, disc brake has also some disadvantages when it comes to applications. So however, it has some implications, and you can look at the two of the its limitations when it comes to its application. So disc brakes, they are very costly. They are very costly as compared to drum brakes, and basically what makes them to be more expensive than drum brakes is the qualities and the mode of specification and the mode of which they have been constructed. So thus in nature they will be very, very expensive as compared to drum brakes. And then they have no servo action that is present as compared to the drum brakes. So in drum brakes they have a servo mechanism, whereas in disc brakes they lack that servo mechanism. And that's mark the end of my presentation. See you next lesson. Bye bye.